Hi everyone, welcome back to the virtual classroom today, looking at connecting formula mass to moles, converting from moles to grams or grams to moles. Believe it or not, this does relate to the owl that we looked at yesterday. If you remember, when we talked about owls, we didn't care much about the mass. We were thinking more about the amount that was in an owl. So that was 15 items. We know that a mole is a certain amount of items or atoms or molecules. That value is 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd in 1 mole. Now we're thinking how mass is connected to that. Now, the mass is all dependent on what type of mole we're looking at. So we're looking at sodium chloride, sulfuric acid, and so on, because each of those have different masses. Just like each of your packages yesterday, even though they had the same amount of items, they had different masses. So we're looking at that mass connection today. So step 1 when figuring out moles to grams is to calculate your formula mass. That's completely dependent on the formula you're given. So we have NaCl here. Na has a mass of 22.99 grams. Cl has a mass of 35.45 grams. We only have one of each of those, so when I calculate that, I just add them together. I get 58.44 grams per mole. For every 1 mole of NaCl, it has a mass of 58.44 grams. Now, to set up these problems, you'll notice a pattern. You can probably do it faster as you get down to your 3 examples. But for this one, I'm going to show you how we're canceling out those units. So we start with what we're given, 5 moles. And for every 1 mole, we need to get into grams because our goal unit is grams. So what's the connection? For every 1 mole of NaCl, we have 58.44 grams. So your formula mass is always connected right here. Make sure moles is on the bottom so we're getting out of moles into grams. To calculate this, we just multiply since they're beside each other, not stacked. So 5 times 58.44, we get 292.2. In the units, just grams. We've canceled out moles. So your steps here are to find the formula mass, start with what you're given, some amount of moles, multiply that by the formula mass. That's going to cancel out moles. So you multiply by formula mass when calculating anything into grams from moles. Moles to grams, multiply. Kind of sounds similar. Don't forget those units, grams. Now let's try one going the opposite direction. You can probably guess what we're going to do this time. It's very similar to that Monday activity. First, we're going to figure out formula mass. This is sodium bicarbonate. 1 Na is 22.99 grams per mole. 1 H is 1.008 grams per mole. We have 1 C, that's 12.011 grams per mole. And 3 O's. So 3 times the mass of 1 O, 15.999. Let's see what that gives us. 22.99 plus 1.008 plus 12.011 plus 3 times 15.999. 84.01. I usually like to round to 2 decimal places. 84.01 grams per mole. All right, that'll be a step in every single problem. You always have to start by finding that formula mass. Now, Start with what we're given, 10 grams. 10 grams of sodium bicarbonate is how many moles? Well, we're going to have to put grams on the bottom this time. And our gram amount is our formula mass, 84.01 grams for every 1 mole. So unlike last time, we're dividing this time. 10 multiplied by 1 over 84 is the same as dividing 10 by 84. So let's see what we get there. 10 divided by 84.01, we get 0.1, I'll round that 1 to 2, 0.12. Our units this time, we've canceled out grams with this setup, should end in moles. So when going from grams to moles, you divide grams given by formula mass. Grams to moles, you divide whatever you're given by the formula mass. Moles to grams, you multiply. Multiply moles by formula mass. And that's how you do those conversions. You've got a couple to try on your own, or 3 to try on your own for each type of problem. And you've got answer keys up front for you today. So check out those answers, see how you do.